Hi, my name is Tom, and today we are going to be going through all the super cool functionalities, new additions, new features to the version 8.2 of BigPicture. There's going to be quite a lot to talk about, so stay with me until the end. There is going to be quite a lot of things that we want to emphasize in this video. Let's begin. So the first thing we want to focus on is that now BigPicture is available in your project's left menu. So there is a section called BigPicture over here. If you select this section, then two things can happen. If this Jira project is not part of any BigPicture box yet, then you will be able to create a new box for this project. So you are able to choose which type of the box you want to use. Then you will see which modules are available in this box, and creating the box is as simple as clicking Start Working. And of course, then the new box based on the box type selected over here will be created for you, and the scope of that box will equal the scope of the Jira project that we are looking at over here. On the other hand, if you will already be working with a project that has synchronization with the box already in BigPicture, then if you go here, you will basically see your BigPicture embedded into your right side screen that we are currently looking at. And it's worth pointing out that this is only going to happen if the connection between your Jira project and BigPicture box is one-to-one and there are no additional things added to that box. And also the box type has to be with the setting of own scope. If you don't know what that is, you will have to have a look at documentation or just reach out to us and we will tell you all about it. All right, so that's the first thing. The next thing that is worth mentioning is that Software Plant optimized the time that is needed to switch between different tabs. So now switching from tab to tab, you will notice that it's a lot smoother than it was before. And honestly, it helps working with the tool quite a lot. Another thing that has been added over here is that inline date field edits. So if we will take any date fields over here, like end date, for example, now you're able to click on a date and edit it from the calendar-like view. So that's definitely an improvement, and it's basically available in all the modules that are displaying the dates so that it's consistent across the whole tool. The report section also got some love in the 8.2 update. First of all, a huge change. Now you can also modify the reports in the standard BigPicture version. You don't need BigPicture Enterprise for this anymore. So that's pretty cool. And all the reports that have been here previously, like these ones, are still here. And the only change on these reports that you will see is that now we can also specify the date filter that will allow you to narrow down the range of issues that you want to be included into or in your report. But that's not all, because you will also get several new reports, and these basically are risk matrix, team dependencies, and dependencies. So all of those reports are visible over here. Here you will get the report regarding the dependencies, and basically this report will show you how many dependencies are defined in your boxes belonging to the box that you're looking at, but also the boxes below it, so that you can quickly identify the connections between tasks in those boxes, so that you can, of course, minimize the risks related to them. The risk matrix visible over here is basically showing you the miniature of your risks. So you can see that all the values of consequence and probability are available over here. We get the matrix view, and the numbers inside are, of course, showing us the risks that are defined. And if you click on the cell, you can see which risks are those. And of course, you can click on the name of the risk to be taken directly to the issue and see all the details of it. And the last report, the team dependencies, is also going to show you quite an important thing, because with this one, you will be able to identify cross-team dependencies of tasks that belong to those teams. So if you have any kind of tasks belonging to two different teams that are connected either with the dependency or with the parent-child relationship, which also might be important, this task will appear over here, and then you will be able to see, okay, I have the dependencies between my global team and my BP 8.2 team, and these are the tasks that are connected. You can even see the type of the connection here in between. So that's going to be quite useful if you're working with many teams and you have dependencies between those teams and you want to keep track and make sure that those dependencies are not causing any additional risks to your project. The next thing I want to show is that when you go to the app configuration, you will be able to open this window. It's kind of embedded in the big picture view. You can still see here that apps are highlighted. So we didn't really move anywhere, but still, of course, this section will be available only to Jira admins. And then if you have a closer look at what has changed here, the first thing that comes to mind is that now you can synchronize your skills with the Jira field. So that's of course quite helpful because this will allow you to, for example, bulk change those skills or to assign those skills to people just through the labels type of the field. That's not all, because also in the app configuration, now you can auto-archive your boxes, so you can choose after how many days of inactivity the box is going to be archived so that it doesn't contribute to the performance load of your Jira instance. And when we switch to the advanced settings, you will also notice over here that first of all, you have the switch for onboarding tool. So this is responsible for all the tooltips that are being shown to the new users of BigPicture. So if you don't want this to be showing up, you can disable it over here. There is also a new setting for synchronization. So sometimes it might happen that BigPicture will not be notified about some changes in the issues that happened outside of BigPicture, just in Jira. And this synchronization is supposed to go through all the issues in all the boxes and basically sync up so that everything is up to date, and maybe setting it up so that it happens once every week of your peak hours of Jira work might actually make sense. And one more interesting feature, which we don't see over here because it's a cloud version, on your server version, you will be able to also select the default user for any actions that are performed on behalf of BigPicture. So currently, or before, it has been recorded as a default Jira user. And now you will be able to actually select which user should be inserted into any changes performed by BigPicture. So of course, you can create your own user for it and choose it over there. In BigPicture administration, you will notice that now synchronization with tempo has been added to the cloud version. It hasn't been here before, now it's here. Inside the skills tab, you will notice that now the columns that we have over here allow us to sort or filter the skills that we have inside. Another interesting thing is that now also gadgets are available in the cloud version. So again, they were missing from the cloud version before. Now they are here, and there is actually a brand new gadget showing us the roadmap. So you can choose which roadmap from which project you want to present over here and display it as a gadget on your dashboard. Inside an overview module, when you switch to the timeline view, you will be able to see the markers over here as well. So the same ones that are visible in the Gantt, the same ones that are visible on the board and the roadmap, nowadays they are also viewable over here in the overview module. Dependencies on the Gantt have been improved a little bit as well. So nowadays, if you go to the details of the dependency, you are able to provide the description of the dependency that hasn't been here before. And also, when you're creating the dependency, you will be able to see a tooltip that will show you what kind of a dependency will be created and whether it's going to be with an ASAP mode or not. And you can also hold your left Alt button to change the from ASAP to non-ASAP dependency, and then drop it, and no ASAP mode is enabled on the level of this kind of the dependency. So that's pretty cool, because previously you actually had to create the dependency and then go inside and change its mode, which was sometimes annoying because by default ASAP is usually turned on, and tasks connected with the dependency in ASAP mode might just get reshuffled before you were able to change the mode to no ASAP. So that's a pretty important improvement over here. Inside the scope module, now you can finally add the tasks. So this button was previously grayed out, but it's not anymore. And now you can create tasks, create subtasks, basically the same kind of functionality that is available on the Gantt and inside the board module too. Speaking about the board module, you will notice that some of the filters that were available, for example, over here, have now been moved to the right side. So Turning on and off the visibility of all the tasks is now over here, and turning on or off the visibility of tasks with dependencies will also belong to the filters section on the right top side of your screen. There are also some changes in the resources module. The one I like the most is that now when you click on the box showing you the capacity, you can actually see the details of where this capacity is coming from. So we can see that this person has 8 hours by default coming from the workload plan, but also the team membership is basically 110 in total because this person is assigned to 2 different teams. So of course we can also see that there is something wrong over here, which is actually also available in the Teams module. So if you go to the Teams module and now you try to assign a person to the team with a certain percentage, you will get a warning that the total allocation of the person to all the teams globally is over 100%. So this definitely has been missing here for a long time, and I'm super happy that it's finally implemented. Going back to the resources module, I also want to show you that if you click on the task and look at all the detailed information inside the task, this window is now resizable. You can click these arrows over here to make it bigger or smaller, or you can just drag the corner to change the size of this window. Working with tasks that are assigned to people that have no working days in a period where the task duration is has also been a little bit flawed in the past. Now it's showing properly the breakdown of hours over here highlighted in red to indicate that there is definitely something wrong with this task because it's assigned to Yaro, who is basically not working on our project inside this time period. So this task is highlighted in red to indicate that it's wrong. It should be assigned to someone else, or we should make sure that Yaro is actually working in our project during this time frame. For the last thing connected with the resources, we actually need to go back to the administration, because here inside the box types, nowadays you can also define the coloring rules for the colors appearing in the resources. So previously this was hard-coded, set in stone. Now with BigPicture Enterprise, it's not available with the standard BigPicture version, you can change the values over here. So if you want the orange color to appear, for example, from the higher number than 75, this would be the place to change it. Notice that this change is only available on the level of the box type, so you can't do it on the level of the individual already existing box. Last two things that I want to point out is that now inside the risks module, in the table section, previously you could inline edit the assignee over here. This functionality has been disabled. I don't know why. This is something that I would have definitely preferred to be applied to all the other sections of BigPicture, but instead it has been removed. The only hope I have is that Software Plan is actually working on something like this, maybe just done in a better way across the whole tool, because this is definitely something that we would like to see over here. It would speed up the process of assigning people to our tasks in our project plans. And last thing that I want to mention is that inside the configuration, in a very important section of task structure, this reset task structure button now is always visible. Previously, you had to disable all your structure builders for this button to appear, and then you could use it. Now it's always visible, and if you turn this button on and save it, which I'm not going to do, then it will basically flatten your whole structure, but then immediately after this, it will apply the selected structure builders over here. So the functionality of it has changed a little bit, but I think it's all logical, so no big deal. And that is basically everything in terms of 8.2 update of BigPicture. Quite a lot of new things came. Many of them I have been looking for a long time, so I'm super happy that they are finally here. I'm basically not very happy about removing the assignee inline editing from the risk match module, but apart from that, all the updates are really important, interesting, and beneficial to the end users. Just a short reminder at the very end, if you would like to learn more about BigPicture, maybe talk about using the tool in your company, maybe talk about possible training or the implementation help, remember that we are the experts in this tool. We have been working with Software Plant and companies from all around the world for the past 5 years, huge experience, and lots of successful implementations. So don't hesitate to contact us. We are totally open for a free session, which we will have online and talk about whether this tool is the right fit for you. And we will honestly tell you if you should go with BigPicture according to your needs, according to your requirements. So if you need to contact us, all the details can be found in the description of this video. And with that, I'm going to wrap it up. So thank you very much for listening and see you or hear you in the next video.